I feel like we can all agree that 2020 was a collective L for the girls. I mean, a universal L that everyone felt in various forms, shapes, and fashions. But I feel like the best way to get, a last minute shot in, a quick dub before the year's up and enter 2021 renewed and refreshed is by reading this book. And stick around and I'll tell you why.
That's right.
You don't bite the hand that feeds you.
I know that's right.
What word do I overuse?
No, that's right.
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Savannah Barona. I go by Savvy C, and welcome to the first ever episode of I Know That's Right, a weekly video series where I give spoiler-free book reviews revolving around a monthly theme. And December's theme is fear and anger. And today I'm talking about Dr. Gay Hendricks' The Big Leap, Conquer Your Hidden Fear and Take Life to the Next Level. I came across this book through Kev On Stage, a comedian, one of my favorites. I love him, especially in quarantine. I've been watching his videos a lot. Shouts to him. I forget what podcast it was. He's on like 4 or 5. He has a ton. And he was talking about this book and just how much he loved it. He was just raving about it, talking about this idea of zone of genius and how he's really tapping into that. And now, this upper limit, probably he was just saying all these words and just really excited about it. And I was just curious. And so I kind of liked the video, saved it, made a mental note, and I'm so glad I did. In just 201 pages with an introduction, conclusion, and 7 chapters in the middle, Dr. Hendricks breaks down to us the concept of the big leap and how one needs to, and how to get and live within their zone of genius, and how each one of us has a genius within us. We all have our inner genius. We all have, our purpose, our calling, why we're on this earth, what we're meant to do, and how the zone of genius, being in that and living in that, will allow us to do so. But of course, we have to break through something to get there. And that issue and what holds a lot of people back from truly living in their purpose, from truly, waking up each day, going to bed at night, happy and content, and just excited about life, having a zest for life, is something called the upper limit problem. And this is what we all have to break through, we all have to solve, we all have to address to get to that zone of genius. An upper limit problem, in Dr. Hendricks' own words, is as follows. The upper limit problem is our universal human tendency to sabotage ourselves when we have exceeded the artificial upper limit we have placed on ourselves. So basically, when you guys see those memes where it's like, someone writes or tweets, whatever, it's like, things are going too well. What's going on? Hold up. Why is life going too well? Things are going well and I'm scared. It's exactly that idea, this idea that we are not comfortable when life is good, what I'm saying? When life is too good, we're scared, we're uncomfortable, we're afraid to do anything, so we feel like we're gonna mess it up, we're gonna mess it up. And that is exactly what the upper limit problem is. It's this problem that starts, of course, in our childhood and builds over time. We're either taught it directly or indirectly. We receive it from our family, from our school, from just our surrounding environments, media perhaps, etc. And it teaches us that something we do when we are shining, we are in our zone of genius, that we have to suppress it. We can't fully be ourselves. So for me, when I was going through this, I learned just a lot of the time that I didn't want to, show off, right? I didn't want to, because I always, I talk a lot. If it's not painfully obvious, I have a loud voice, okay? I ain't got no problem projecting my voice. And I'd always get in trouble for that at school growing up. It's like Savannah doesn't have an indoor, outdoor voice. I still ain't got one. Savannah doesn't raise her hand. Savannah doesn't let the other kids talk. Savannah makes a lot of friends, but, Savannah. So it's just all these things I was getting in trouble for. And so then just indirectly taught me to just be reserved, stay in the background, don't say anything, notice how I'm sitting back at the wall, right? Suppressing my voice and who I am. And so that was an upper limit problem that I have to fix and address. And thus, with addressing that, you break free into your zone of genius. Now, there are 4 zones. I mentioned zone of genius earlier. Those 4 zones are zone of incompetence, zone of competence, zone of excellence, and then zone of genius. A lot of people are stuck in that zone of excellence. And that zone of excellence is basically just, things you just do day in and day out and don't have to think twice about it. Like, it's just, oh, how was your day? Oh, it was fine. Like, it was this. Oh, I did that. And someone, can watch and be like, oh, wow, how'd you do that? It's like, oh, it's not hard. Like, just something you can do without even really thinking about it. That's your zone of excellence. You're not challenging yourself. You're not really, excited about the work you do. You're just doing it in and out for a paycheck, for a credit, whatever, fulfillment, right? Versus zone of genius, that is your passion. That's what keeps you going. And he just really breaks it down into this book, why you need to make that leap into your zone of genius, so you can live abundantly and just, life can really just be as rich as it can be. I loved the most about this book was just how candid he was with just his own background, being a psychologist, pulling stories from clients he's worked with over years, well-known CEOs, 1%ers to, your average husband-wife couple or, single, whatever. I loved how I was able to pull from all those stories. And then also I love too how he was able throughout to have like questions and exercises that you can follow along in the book so you can immediately apply what he's saying. 'Cause I think I'm kind of hesitant to call this a self-help book, but it definitely is a self-help book because, self-help has this stigma attached to it that it's like, oh, self-help people, those people are, they're kind of, you take it, in small doses. But with this book, you can really apply it like right away. I mean, literally like chapters like 3 through 5, especially, you can really just, take like me, have your notes and write down the answers to the questions right away and just feel yourself chapter by chapter, page by page, literally finding and having breakthroughs. And I love that, how you can immediately apply this book to your situation right now. I really recommend this to everyone. This is a universal recommendation, an easy 5-star from me, because it's just a great way to, one, to set the tone as you enter 2021, 2, learn about yourself, and 3, just, I feel like, find what you were made to do on this earth. I feel like 2020, the ultimate hidden, silver lining of this year was just the time it gave us to be still with ourselves and just with the basics. So maybe, you went back to painting, you went back to, I don't know, making whatever. I went back to reading, which I love to do, and thus started this, series, which was originally cover to cover. Now it's I Know That's Right. Like, just we go back to our roots, and through our roots are where the genius lies, our purpose and our passion lies. And so I really urge you to check this book out if you are interested in that, and really just, again, setting the tone right now so you can go into 2021 with, the game, keep that game, work in your zone of genius, and have abundance, because you and I and others do also deserve that. We don't, have to be comfortable and competent in acceptance and accepting of suffering. We ain't got time for that. We do not want to, no pain, no hateration, holleration in the stance where, you feel me? So definitely check this book out. All right, sounds good? Sounds good. I'll be sure to try to, I can't do this on IGTV, of course, but on YouTube, if you guys check this out on YouTube, also the Savvy C Scoop, for that, I'll put the links to, where I bought this book from, and mention some bookstores perhaps too that you can check out that are shipping in the States and in France and in the Europe, EU region as well. So I'll be sure to check for that and put that in the description box. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching the first ever episode of I Know That's Right. As always, I am sending my love to you. Mwah, mwah. So wherever you are in the world where you're watching this, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye!